Research methods, a tool to open unknown world. In this topic, we are going to cover below topics: research methods, research discipline, research philosophy, elements of scientific research, methodologies of conducting research. First, we should understanding research as a discipline. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the concept of research, discuss the characteristics of scientific research, and explain the purpose of research. Before we define the term research, think about terms or words that have prefix re. For instance, rebuild, reheat, repackage, rewrite, reappear, etc. What are these re signing for? It signifies again. Let's look at what's the definition of research. Research, just like the words mentioned, has a prefix re. This prefix means again and again. It therefore means to research is to search again and again. This is a repetition of search. The next question we need to ask is, then, what are we searching? The simple answer is that we are searching for knowledge. But why we are searching for knowledge? We are searching for knowledge to fill a gap between what is and what ought to be. Okay, did you just say a gap? Yes, it is a gap. Let's take a minute and think about this statement. Every aspect of human behavior has a problem, and this is replicated in the society. In society, there were problems. There are problems, and there will be problems. For problem does not mean when things are going bad, but a problem is any situation that makes the researcher ask him or herself why. Therefore, even when things are going on well, the researcher asks why. Let's give an example. A why means there is a gap that calls for investigation or research. This is why we have stated that a gap is a distinction between the way things are or on the way we know them as normal and how they ought to be. Therefore, a gap is a research problem, and we have to find out answers to these problems. But how? We find answers by collecting data, analyzing data, writing a report, and disseminating the findings to your audience. This constitutes the answers to the problem, and this is what research is all about. Note the following regarding research. We conduct research because there is a problem, and research is a problem-driven, not topic-driven. Research is not conducted out of heresy. The problem must be documented. Research problem is anchored on data. Secondly, always remember that research report is a public document which can be securitized by anyone. And definition of research. With that background, then how do we define research? Different scholars define differently, but they all bring out the idea that research is search for knowledge to fill a gap. I define research as an objective, systematic, and scientific investigation of problems through collection, analysis, and interpretation of data in order to gain understanding about the phenomena. Someone may be wondering this definition has new words that needs to be explained exactly, and let's start with the explanation. Phenomena. A phenomena is an objective of investigation. It is what the researcher is interested in investigation. It may be a program, a project, a policy, a school, an institution, an organization, etc. And the term systematic implies that research developed and presented in a coherent manner. It is methodical, based on laid out procedures. A scientific investigation implies that the process of research is conducted carefully, following specific steps and with specific objectives to solve the problem under consideration, and things are based on investigation. An objective implies that research finds are not influenced by personal feelings, opinions. They are reported as it is in the field. And what are the characteristics of scientific research? It is specific, purposiveness. Any good research must have a definite purpose and must be focused. A statement of the purpose of the study guide in the achievement of the research objective. And it must be empirical. Research is based on observation and measurement of phenomena as directly experienced by the researcher. The results of research are based on real-life experiences. Testability. A good research must be testable in terms of objectives and hypotheses developed. If the hypotheses or objectives are too abstract and difficult to measure, then the scientific investigation is weakened. Replicability. This means that the results of the research should be supported again and again when the research is repeated in other similar circumstances. Precision and confidence. Precision reflects the degree of exactitude of the results based on the sample. Confidence refers to the probability that our estimates are correct. Objectivity. Our results should be objective based on facts resulting from the actual data and not from our own subjective or emotional values. Generalizability. This refers to a scope of applicability of the research finds. The wider the range of applicability of the solutions generated by research, the more useful the research is. Parsimony. Research being scientific doesn't mean that we have to be complicated. Parsimony refers to the simplicity of explaining the phenomena that occur and in the applications of solutions to the problem. High ethical standards should be applied. The research should conduct research with high regard of respondents' privacy and should assume them of confidentiality. And it must be problem-driven. And what are the purposes of research? The sole purpose of research is to explore, describe, and explain phenomena. Explore addresses the what question. Describe addresses the who, what, when, and where question. And explain focuses on the why question. Types of research. There are three types of research. Gives us three types of research of what purpose. The first one, descriptive research, which aims at describing the characteristics of a population, finding out what of the population. Exploratory research is similar to basic research, which investigates a problem that is not well defined. Explanatory research. This builds on exploratory and descriptive research, where it goes further to determine causes and reasons, extended theory or principles, as well as provide evidence to support of refute and explanations or a prediction. Using relevant examples from your area of specialization, justify the statement. Research is a scientific process. Let's go to the summary. And we have come to the end of today's lesson. In this lesson, we have defined the term research as research for knowledge, and we have explained the characteristics of scientific research. Among them are purposiveness, parsimony, and problem-driven. And finally, we have discussed the three purposes of research as describe, explore, and explanation phenomena.